Yeah. Fair play.
Oh, welcome back to another week of the Vault Studio podcast, the NFL podcast. We're back.
And on the way in, I was thinking, I wonder what the intro song is going to be this week. And I should have known better. It's my own fault, really.
It had to be something Raven.
There was a couple songs I was going to play. There are Raven lyrics in there, but I'm like, nah, they'll go over their heads. I'm just going to play the Ravens fight song because we are the best team in the NFL.
Correct.
That's how it works.
Well, if you've got the best record, you're the best team.
Mark
Doyle.
Doyle.
That's how it works.
You guys lost.
Shout out. Shout out to my boy Michael.
That's Big Red. That's all it is.
Well, first off, before we get into anything off the top, I just want to say a very Merry Christmas to all our listeners and to you boys in here. I love you both. And to all our listeners, I love you all. Merry Christmas.
Hari Krishna.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Banger of a track. I want to make a Vault Studio intro song to the bass of Feliz Navidad.
To the melody of Feliz Navidad.
That's going to be my off-season goal. Try and get something like that.
Hey, it's good to set realistic goals too. Man.
It is realistic. That's the thing. You guys have to come and do some singing though.
Oh God, that's not my fault. That's not my strong suit. Buddy.
No, what we'll do is we'll come and record you doing weights. You know the clank of the weights when you drop it. I'll fit that in there somehow as part of yours.
I'm pretty much only good at lifting everything.
Yes, that's exactly right. So we'll do that. But yeah, it was a weird week because there was so many games.
It was a long week.
Yeah, it felt like a long week. Yeah, because everything was so spread
exhausted.
out. Yeah.
So you had the Bengals. No, the Chargers almost beat the Bills on Friday, which was fucking wild.
Wild, all right.
Wild. And then who did the Bengals get pants by? The Bengals got pants by someone. I can't even remember now.
The Browns.
They're Steelers.
The
Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers. Which I would have put money on if I was a betting man because what's something more iconic than Mike Tomlin and finding a way to go 500, which is what he's going to do.
Yep.
And he might backdoor his way into the playoffs doing it.
And Mason Rudolph, the day before Christmas, just having a fucking day.
What are they going to do? What are they going to do QB-wise there? What are they going to do?
Well, Rudolph will start the rest of the year.
Yeah. Oh, there's only 2 games left. I'm like going forward.
They should try and get Joe Flacco in the offseason, surely.
Come on, bro.
He won't go there.
Hey, he's a winner. That's all he does.
He is a winner.
And fun fact, Amari Cooper, who had 260 yards, is only the 4th player ever to have 200-yard games for 3 different teams. Can you name Amari Cooper's 3 teams he's done it for? Obviously the Browns.
Raiders and Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd forgotten he was on the Raiders for a while.
How did you forget that?
I don't know. I just was like, where was he before the Cowboys? Oh yeah, he was on the fucking Raiders. He put 3,000-yard seasons up, and then they traded him away for a bag of chips. And then he did that at the Cowboys, and the Cowboys traded him away for a bag of chips.
Yeah.
I think it might be the Amari Cooper issue at this point. Then.
I disagree. Everywhere he goes, all he does is catch passes, get yards.
Yeah.
Mate.
Well, from all reports, he's actually a fucking really likable guy, and everyone really likes him.
Okay, let's say that he's an absolute cunt, which I doubt it because I've heard the same thing that he's actually a really nice guy. All he does is catch passes and get yards. Isn't that what you're paying him to do?
He's like a better version of Brandon Cooks, which is what the Cowboys replaced him with.
Why replace the ghost of Brandon Cooks?
Like I still don't fucking understand it.
What do you think? 1,000-yard receivers just grow on fucking trees? Like no, bro.
Well, he's paid $20 million a year, which is going to be a problem because he's a highly paid.
Lot.
But like that's what most top.
What's he going to finish up with?
What's
he going to finish up with this year? He's going to finish up with what 1,500 yards and.
Yeah, that probably would have shot him into leading the league in receiving yards. Like, and he's due for this one season a year. He puts up like a 250-yard game. Like when he's on, he's incredible.
Shout out to Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I like him. He had a good day. What we want to talk about, I've got the first topic, and it's one Brock's going to love. I guess it's a fuck you fight me, but I don't think I'm going to get much fight. Lamar Jackson won the MVP on the weekend.
Oh, he got his big black cock. And he whipped it out. And he just went, there you go, boys.
And he passed all over him. He was so efficient.
Monday night, that every single person in America is watching that game.
Yep.
And he just went, there you go, boys.
I was at the cricket, had it on my phone while I was watching the cricket. And there was like every 4th person had it on.
Yeah. And I buried the lead. He did that in San Fran to the best team in the NFC.
Now, if Brock Purdy just didn't forget how to not throw it to the other team at one point because he was fucking atrocious.
To quote the great James Arthur, if it's and buts were candies and nuts.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Every day it would be Christmas.
Because I think the Ravens came in with a plan. The Ravens were like, we're going to let him get some yards because they're talented and they're going to get yards.
It's what they do.
But we're going to play for turnovers and we're going to win the game off turnovers.
Yep.
And that's what that defense, like the best defenses in the history of football, and the defenses that go on to win Super Bowls and have massive playoff impact, are defenses that generate turnovers.
Turnovers, that's right.
So the year the Saints won the Super Bowl, obviously Drew Brees was incredible in the playoffs, but their defense was one of the bottom third defense in the league, but they were top 10 in turnovers.
Yeah.
And if you remember in the playoffs, they had a pick six to get into the NFC, win the NFC Championship game, and then a pick six in the Super Bowl off Peyton Manning.
Right.
So you need to generate turnovers because turnovers give your offense more possessions, then you got more chances
More
to score.
chance to score. And,
That's as simple as that.
And they've got less time with the ball.
100%.
And an offense like San Fran, the one thing you don't want to give them is time with the ball.
Yeah, and they starved them. And then I don't think the 49ers were bad on the day. I think they played
I think
well.
they were particularly bad because you like.
I think Purdy was bad.
All due respect, you can't, as a team that threw five interceptions, you can't throw 5 interceptions as a team and say that you didn't play badly. That's bad football.
The backbreaker was the 2 back-to-back after the half.
Yeah.
Where the Ravens score, get a pick down to the 5-yard line and score straight away again.
Exactly.
But I think, Lamar created real issues for him. And I believe that what he did on the weekend is enough for him. If he just, and I think they'll win the next 2 games because they play the Chargers and the Bengals. Am I right?
Nah, we got Miami this week.
Miami?
Yes, I believe it is in Miami.
So I reckon you'll beat Miami. I don't know.
Nah, Miami at home, you probably got to give them the edge.
Yeah, maybe just. But either way, like if they, I think he's going to.
Lamar just causes problems, man. You got to remember, there's no one like him in the NFC, right?
No.
So teams don't see him every week. No. So when they see him, they're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Actually, check that. Miami at home for the Ravens, and then Steelers at home as well.
That's what I mean.
So they finished. They home stand.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got the 1 seed wrapped up. See you later.
I think they're a game clear. If they beat Miami this week, it's over. They've got the 1 seed.
We're
so they got to win one of their last 2. Is that correct?
Correct. Well, if they beat Miami, they're a game up on Miami now. That would put them 2.5 games up on Miami because they don't, and there's only 1 game left. So it's over.
Yep.
It's over. So if they win this week, they get it. It's gonna be interesting. But what we thought we'd do tonight is have a bit of a look.
So shout out to Lamar. He's probably going to win the MVP
for his second time.
And when was the last time a running back won the MVP?
You should. You know what? You fucked up here. I was waiting because I was going to do a post being like first running back since LaDainian Tomlinson win the MVP.
It wasn't, I'll tell you what.
And you've gone fucking. No, it was Adrian Peterson.
It was AP. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, shout out to AP.
after he came back off his tearing his knee apart.
Yeah,
it was outrageous.
No, I hang a lot of shit on him, and like I do, but that performance on the weekend was very good.
Yeah, he played right. It was just, and this is what I think the Ravens have gone under the radar.
It was a really complete performance,
and that's what their team. What is complete?
Is a complete? It
was
a complete team
talking about? The Bills are the best team in the AFC.
Who said that?
Everyone in the media says it when the Ravens are still kicking ass.
Well, yeah, the Bills got a reputation. They got a white, handsome gunslinger quarterback.
That's what it is.
You got to remember.
You got all the pieces.
It's not like they fired their OC this year as well. Was on struggle street.
Yeah.
You got to remember
that
the people that own the media are old rich white guys, and they only like other white people. They don't like these. They don't like these young black guys running around making them look bad.
They don't like black guys.
No,
I am fucking shocked.
No, they don't.
Color me pink. I am shocked.
Oh my god.
I don't think they don't. I don't think it's that they don't not like them.
They would just
just prefer white guys.
White guys.
They prefer when they were.
I don't think they're like I don't like black people. I think they're like I want more white people.
I prefer white people to do better.
The NFL is it's run by white people.
Yeah, of course it is.
For white people.
Yes, correct.
I just want to bring something up.
All white owners, and there's only one black coach. Correct?
No, there's
head coach.
Yeah, there's a couple.
No, there's
there's that the boy from the Raiders. What's his name?
What's the Texans coach?
Antonio Pierce
and DeMeco
Ryans. Yeah. Robert Saleh's not. He's a minority. I think there's 7 minority coaches.
Okay. Would he be on?
Mike McDaniel's a minority. Technically, he's Jewish.
Is he on the white team or the black team? So
it depends if he says the word. Well, it's up to him. I don't know. I'm not going to judge him. He seems like a guy that wouldn't say it.
He seems pretty buttoned up.
Kyle Hamilton was like, "No, I want to be on the everyone but the black and white team." That's how he was going to do it.
He's on the
have a third team.
It's a good team when you look at it. They have 2 as their quarterback. They've got him as safety.
They have all the Islander boys. Their O-line and D-line would be fucking dominant.
It's a good team when you look at it. It's a real fucking good team.
I saw you post that today that he said he wants to. They should have a third team for the halves.
The Harveys.
It's just like we're just borderlining on just open racism now.
I love it.
Rashad Mendenhall. I know he wanted everyone to turn on white people from doing that. But if anything, he's brought everyone
brought
closer
everyone
together.
Hey,
It's like
and
everyone's just openly
hey,
like,
and
I'll be on the
isn't
black team.
Isn't that what the holidays are about?
That was
Bringing everyone
his
together.
I have a dream sort of speech.
Yeah.
And it just did not work for him at
No.
all.
I identify as a 6'7" black left tackle. So I'll be on the black team. Because it's 2023 now. And
Please-
we can say what we want.
Please let's not start with this identifying shit. I'm trying to stay calm.
I identify as Taylor Swift, and I've been openly fucking Travis Kelce and ruined his career.
I'll identify with their bank account. That's just
Well,
fine.
fun fact, she can now buy Kanye West.
Is that right?
Do you know how many times I had that sent to me
It's
this
so
week?
funny. So she's worth like 1.7 billion,
Yeah, something like that.
and
Yeah.
Kanye West is worth 700 million. And everyone was like, it's
But-
come a long way from when you jumped up on stage and said she didn't deserve the award. She can now buy you. And then someone had commented saying, I don't think they allow us to do that anymore.
Wow. All right, now we're skating on thin ice.
Yeah.
Let's clean this up. I want to bring up a point. It's not on our run sheet,
Oh, okay.
but the NFL Comeback Player of the Year.
Okay.
Joe Flacco's coming to $3.90 to win it,
Wow.
It's DeMar Hamlin.
and DeMar Hamlin's still sitting at $1.24.
He played on the weekend. He gave up a big pass.
Did he?
Yeah, did he?
Has he made a tackle yet?
I think he made a tackle when he gave up.
Shout out to DeMar.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
Hey, come on. He died on the field.
I'm well aware of what happened to him, George. It's been well documented.
He died on the field, bro. Come on.
Look, it's going to be hard. If he wins it, it's going to be hard to argue.
How do you
Like,
argue that?
yeah,
Come
like
on.
he died and he's playing. But my argument is that he wouldn't be playing if he didn't die.
Probably not.
He's
No, he
only on
wouldn't
that
be on the
team.
team.
Yeah, he's only on that team because of what happened to him. They named
I-
ambulances after him, man.
I don't disagree. But
Yeah,
like,
but if he wins it, it's going to be hard to be like. It's just going to. I think I'll
What do you
literally
say?
just be like,
you don't deserve it. You died. You don't deserve it. Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
He didn't make a defensive tackle.
yeah. So he didn't even tackle the guy when he got burned.
Yep.
Atrocious.
Shout out.
And then the other thing he's done this year is give up that penalty on the
Yeah,
field
12
goal.
men on the field.
12 men on the field.
Yeah,
to
the 12th
lose
man.
the game.
The 12th man, DeMar.
Maybe he saw angels in the outfield and he thought it was a ghost and wasn't actually on the field.
Just
Maybe
quietly,
that's what he was doing.
Buffalo are like that. I know the Chargers.
All right, so we're
shouldn't
going
have-
to talk about the playoff picture now.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just roll in.
Let's start with the AFC.
AFC,
because
done.
I like Buffalo are now in 6. I know the Chargers gave him a scare, which was shocking to me that Easton Stack could go after they kicked the crap out of the Cowboys last week.
Yeah.
But it's very similar to like the Cowboys kick the shit out of the Eagles and then go and get pumped by
Yes.
the Bills.
Yeah.
When you have those wins,
It's a
the
new-
emotions are high.
Yeah, correct.
And then when the emotions and the energy is high,
There's always going to be
naturally
a come down.
drops.
Correct.
It drops low. And they
Yeah.
looked like for the first half, they were just not into it. And I actually give them a bit of credit for being able to go. Now it's lucky they were playing the dog shit Chargers. Because if they were playing the Cowboys or the Niners or the
Yeah,
Ravens
a good
or
team. Yeah.
anyone who's in the playoff picture, they would have got
Yeah,
fucking
they would
pinced
have
in
got
the
rolled.
first
Yep.
half.
Yep.
So they managed to fight back.
So what is the play like?
I got the
have
playoff
a run-
picture,
Playoff,
AFC.
playoff picture, please.
So the 1 seed is Baltimore right now.
Yeah,
12-2.
they've got it stitched up pretty much, right?
Well, they've got to beat Miami because if they lose to Miami this week, it flips.
Yep.
Okay, then you've got the Dolphins at 2. Both of them have clinched playoffs. They're the only AFC teams that have clinched
Wow,
playoffs.
that's great. And hey, it's week 16.
It's wild. There's 2
That's
games left.
crazy.
So
man.
there's still something like, there's 12 teams alive in the AFC with 2 weeks to go.
that's unbelievable.
And all of them are 7-8 or 8-7. So then
Yeah.
you've got Kansas City, who had another awful loss
Good.
to the Raiders, who just quietly the Raiders kept themselves alive
Yeah.
and can technically win the division if the Chiefs lose the next 2
And they
the
win the
Raiders
next
win the
two.
next 2.
Because they've got the tiebreaker against
But-
them. Yeah.
The Chiefs have the Chargers next week, and I just feel a little sorry for the Chargers because I think they used all their energy last week against
Yeah.
the Bills.
The Bills, yeah.
It was there. We got a new coach. We got to
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
play
that
for
was
our
like that
careers.
after
So-
the game. Yeah.
And then you've got Jacksonville as a 4 seed at 8-7, who are fucking falling apart.
Yeah.
And I want to quickly talk about Jacksonville before we keep going through the playoffs. If Trevor Lawrence wasn't the number 1 pick and a college superstar, would he be treated like Daniel Jones, for example?
Yes.
I think because I like Lawrence and I've liked him for a while.
No, only because he's got more talent.
But he's
he?
kind of got no his numbers are identical
Yeah.
to Daniel Jones. And I know everyone says, well, take away the Urban Meyer year.
Okay, but if you were starting,
Fair enough, take it away.
Fair enough. Like numbers are one thing, and I'm a numbers guy. But
Yeah.
like on the eye test, you're starting a franchise tomorrow. You're picking Lawrence over fucking Danny Dimes.
100% I am. It's not even a discussion.
Sorry.
But so
Come
you're
on.
right. That's a very good point because
Come
I am. Because my mind, I'm not going to take Daniel
You're not.
Jones.
You're not.
I
taking
wouldn't take
Daniel
Daniel. I probably,
over Lawrence.
I
Come
think
on.
there'd be fucking 35
Okay.
quarterbacks before I got took Daniel Jones. Honestly,
Are you taking Trevor? Or are you taking Dak?
Dak. Right now, Dak. Like off
Yeah.
this season, Dak
Off
Prescott has been.
this season, Dak's played
And you could
really
argue
well.
that the Jaguars' offense is more talented than the Cowboys,
yeah,
barring
yeah.
the offensive line.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is.
Like they've got Ridley, Kirk, Ingram, Etienne.
ETN, yeah,
Like they're very talented.
Yeah. but their own line's not
Their own line's not as good, and Trevor Lawrence is getting fucking massacred,
hammered. Yeah,
and he's hurt. You can
he's
tell
clearly
he's
hurt.
hurt.
He's clearly hurt. That's
And
what I was going to say. Like,
I
he's
just think
clearly
that
not 100%.
The amount of people I've seen turn on him this week, I guess it kind of got me going, well, shit. So I went back and watched a couple of Jaguars games in the 40-minute games, the last 3 of them.
Yep.
And normally I'd agree, like the eye test, you can see a guy. Like even in his rookie year when he struggled, I was like,
He's got something. Yeah.
he made that. Like I remember watching Zach Wilson and being like, this is not the eye test. Like his numbers could be amazing. He's not passing the eye test. But
Yeah.
every 3 or 4 plays with Trevor Lawrence, you'd be like, fuck,
Yeah,
man.
good.
Like,
Yep.
So the last 3 or 4 games, he does not look like that.
Yeah, he's injured.
And
Though,
I think that's what it is.
it's not. He's
sprained right AC joint.
Is he even going to play this week?
AC joint, and don't forget he did his fucking ankle 3 weeks ago.
And I don't know how he got through concussion protocol.
Concussion,
because
bravo.
there's something
dude.
sus went on there.
Come on, bro.
Like I agree.
They're like,
if he wants to
surely they were like, the answer to this question is this.
Yeah, like the fact that he's the only player ever to get concussed in a game, ruled out of the game, and then come back the next week. That
Yeah.
does not happen.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Do you think
The
that-
rule are you get a week off.
It's a
Do
mandatory.
you think they would have
Yeah.
got him? Do you think they would have brought him back if they weren't in playoff contention? Of course not.
No, they would have put him on ice. If they went in play contention, they would have put him on ice 2 weeks ago.
No,
when he
I
hurt his
agree.
ankle.
That's my point. He's clearly not 100%. Like, remember Burrow at the start of the season? He was struggling. He had niggles left and right and
It makes a
everywhere.
big difference.
And then as soon as he was healthy, he was fucking balling out, bro.
yeah, you're right. You're right. So I think Jacksonville. Who do they play this week? They've got to
Like,
play Indy or Houston. Sure.
QB,
Panthers.
QB
so-
is easily the hardest position to play in the NFL, and to do that, under injury, it's fucking basically impossible
They
Yeah.
got Panthers.
to
and
play at a high
Texans.
level. I mean,
They got Panthers this week. So,
Yeah.
funnily enough, the Panthers are actually playing a lot better the last
It's
couple of
like
weeks.
fucking
Yeah.
good.
And I, for
Yeah.
the first time, we've been pretty open about what we think of Bryce Young.
Yeah.
The last couple of games, I've been
yeah,
like,
they
"Alright."
butchered the fucking the spike right at the end. They ran out of time.
Yes.
They should have
I
fucking.
know, but like
they gotta
I've kind of
clean
been
that shit
watching
up.
him going. He might have something. I'm not completely done with him now. I think you know what? Give him a year. It's a long shot. It's like not quite a.
I'm happy-
Everyone remembers Josh Allen's first 2 years in the NFL were fucking atrocious.
Dog shit.
Yeah, but
And he's about the only guy that's
okay,
ever come
okay,
back from
But
that.
you look at him and you just go, right.
He's wide.
He's 6'5", and he's got a cannon of an arm. At
And-
least he's got something.
Would you say he's handsome?
Well, I mean,
Functionally handsome?
Sure,
Would
sure.
you say he's tall?
I don't think how handsome he is matters when he's trying to play quarterback.
Well, would
but,
you say
whatever.
he's tall, George?
Yeah, he's tall. He's 6'5". He's
And
tall.
I guess what would you say? What color skin does he have?
He has white skin
So would you say he's tall,
Tall,
white, and handsome, and
and a
and a
gunslinger.
gunslinger? Hey, tick it off the board. I'm gonna get a whiteboard up there to have all those things, and I'll do like a graph with the people with the quarterbacks' names
Perfect.
NFL, and we'll
Tick
tick
'em
them.
I love it. But at
Um,
least he's got some attributes where you go, okay, he's struggling, but like
he was
if
just inaccurate.
yeah,
as fuck.
fine.
Like, he
And
was
you think,
bad.
well, if he can put it together, then he's gonna have something because he's got something.
Keep in mind,
what's Bryce Young do?
Jacksonville have to re-sign Trevor Lawrence next year.
Yeah, that's gonna be
It's his
that's gonna
fourth
be
year. Or they got a 5th year option in, which they got to decide, which they're going to do. It's a no-brainer.
yeah, they're gonna.
But a lot
Still
of
gonna have to, at some point they're gonna have to pay him $50 million.
not
a
many
year.
like franchise quarterbacks have been 5th year optioned
Yeah,
because a
because
lot of them are
extended,
like,
yeah.
hey, I want
I want
fucking
money now.
I want my long-term deal.
Yeah, of course.
So there's not many dudes that have actually played under the 5th year option as a quarterback.
Lamar.
So they don't normally put him. Lamar did, yeah, because
Yeah, Lamar.
he backed himself in,
Yeah.
and then was his own agent and got himself that massive contract. And he doesn't have to pay an agent 10% or 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
7%.
technically, he had to pay his mum. So his mum actually is a qualified agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking oath. Give
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but
a no-brainer.
still in the family.
That's money in the family.
It's
Absolutely.
like that. It's like that soccer player. That
Still
was,
got someone named Jackson. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
it was like that soccer player that was giving his mum like 95% of his wages
Yeah.
as a pay. So then when his wife divorced him, and his gold digging wife divorced him, he was like, "This is how much you're getting."
I got
this."
that- I got
Then his mum's like, "Here's all your money back."
He
I
had-
got
yeah, he had
18
nothing-
grand in the bank.
Yeah, he had nothing in his name. His car wasn't in his name. His house wasn't in his name.
The
Shout
soccer
out.
club were literally
Houses.
paying his mum instead of paying.
Shout
him.
out. I love
it. Baller.
Hey,
Ball.
chestnut checkers, man.
Yeah, he was playing good. All right, so then we got Cleveland, who are the 5th seed at the moment. Who, funnily, like they're 10-5. So if it wasn't for Baltimore, they've got a better record than KC and the Jacks.
And Jags.
If Cleveland win this week, they actually clinch. That's hands down. If they win, they clinch.
Who they play? Who Cleveland got?
They've got New York Jets.
Oh, surely.
But that's
Sure.
the thing. They can win. Even if they don't win, if Pitts lose, they tie Buffalo lose, they get Jackson lose, they're in. Houston lose, they're in.
Right. Yeah.
And Houston and Indy lose or tie, they're in.
Right.
Well, let's just start with the division winners. Let's try and get them squared away with what we think, and then we can discuss the
wild cards because that is wild in and of itself.
I fucking love it.
So I think Baltimore are going to win the AFC. I think they're going to beat Miami this week.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're going to secure the number 1 seed this week and win their division.
In Baltimore, it's very likely.
I think that's what's going to happen. And if they don't win, I think they win next week anyway.
Anyway, which would clinch it regardless.
And also, the reason I want that to happen is because if Miami lose this week and Buffalo win,
they can make it.
They go into the last game of the season. Winner gets the division.
Wow.
So Buffalo are 9-6.
Where is that game being played?
In Buffalo. So it will go. So basically,
I fucking love this shit.
And I want that. I want week
Yeah,
17,
yeah.
Buffalo, Miami. And then, mind you, I think whoever loses would make the playoffs.
Will be the 5th seed or whatever. Yeah.
They'd have to be because
or the 6th seed or whatever.
Yeah, because Miami have clinched, so they would get in as the 5th seed.
5th seed, yeah.
So that's what I want. I think that's what's going to happen, and then I think Buffalo either end up being the 6th seed or winning the division in Miami.
Yeah.
I think that's how it goes. Do we think Kansas City win the division? Who Kansas City got the next 2 weeks? Brocky, BJ McGillicuddy.
Case they have Chargers last week.
Yep.
In LA.
In LA, yep.
Yeah, and this week they've got the Bengals at home.
So the Bengals are reeling. As well as this rookie quarterback's played, I think.
Is he a rookie?
Yeah, he's a rookie. Yeah, forgot his name.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, he's definitely a rookie. Well, they were calling him a rookie on the weekends, unless Al Michaels is fucking lying to me, which wouldn't surprise me.
I think he might be lying. I don't think he's actually.
Shout out, Al Michaels.
Yeah, see, Al Michaels for the first time ever got cut from playoff commentary.
Wow, why?
They just haven't put him in the playoff commentary.
Okay,
just didn't make the cut, which is fair.
Technically, he's a rookie. He's 27.
The fuck?
He's 27. Yeah.
It's his first year in the NFL.
It's technically his first year because he was on practice squads, but he just kept getting cut and cut.
I thought if you were just out of college for 1 year, you're not a rookie anymore.
Nah,
his class is a rookie.
Yeah, so it's if he's
because it's not on a roster technically.
He's not on a roster by the actual start of the year, so he hasn't actually had any term side.
That's some fucking Ben Simmons sort of bullshit.
Yeah, no shit.
So anyway,
rookie of the year in his 3rd season or whatever it was.
That's Jared Hayne fucking shit.
Yeah,
you're still a rookie.
Jared Hayne doesn't bring up him.
How many years did he get?
7 or 8.
Yeah.
Silly boy. He's a bad boy.
Silly boy.
Got away with it in America. Couldn't get away with it in Australia. So KC, I think they win it.
They got 9 wins now. Is that right? At the moment?
I think they beat Chargers and
so is that their run home Chargers and then Bengals?
Bengals and Chargers. Yes.
I think they win. The Bengals maybe, but I think they beat the Chargers.
Yeah. Okay. Which will give them 11 wins.
And that'll give them. I think they need one more.
That'll make them the 3rd.
So if I'm looking at it, if they win this week and they go to 10 wins, it's Las Vegas and Denver, who are both 7 and 8. They can't catch them.
Yeah, they can't. Yep.
So they win this week. They clinch the division.
Yep.
So I think Kansas do it. What are we thinking of Jacksonville? Let's get up the 3 teams, Brocky, because we got Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Houston, all tied on 8 and 7.
8 and 7,
right.
Yep.
But Jacksonville have the head-to-heads right now.
Yes.
So who's everyone playing?
Jacksonville have Panthers, then Titans.
They're both really winnable games. Yeah.
Panthers at home, Titans away.
Yeah, that fucking sets them up because then the Colts and Houston are going to play each other week 17. I'd almost bet on it.
Colts have Raiders at home, then Colts at home as well.
Then, Houston at home.
Texans at home, yep.
And then who the Texans play this week?
Texans play the Titans this week.
And I'm going to look up if CJ Stroud's back.
I don't think CJ's back.
No, I don't think he's here.
They won't risk him either.
Jesus.
There's no point really risking him. If you're your future quarterback, that you're not going to play him.
And me personally, I wouldn't risk him. Not for anything.
They've got him listed as questionable on ESPN.
I don't think he'll play. Because it's not a concussion, is it? He hurt.
I thought it was his shoulder.
I thought it was his shoulder too.
Yeah.
21 hours ago, he was questionable. So
I'll be very surprised if he plays. What's the point?
There's optimism about his ability to play week 17. That doesn't sound good.
I don't see the point. I don't see the point.
Well, the point is they can make the playoffs in their rookie year. He's rookie year. But I don't think
I'd rather have him happy and healthy for the
Does
next 10
anyone
years.
think the Colts, Houston, or Jags are doing anything?
Concussion protocol is in as well.
No.
Yeah. I don't think any of them are winning a playoff game.
No.
I think the team that has the best chance is Jacksonville. Because if Lawrence can get himself right and play.
They'll probably just get
Really
smashed by the 5th seed, bro.
Yeah, I think that's what will happen. Or the 5th seed could be fucking Cleveland.
Gonna be
That's
Cleveland.
what I'm saying.
Could be Cleveland, yeah.
Like, I don't think Cleveland are a smash you sort of team.
Big Dick Joe, he's ready to fucking.
Like, I
rumble,
know,
bro.
yeah, he's got a big cock. Like, he's the
He's a
next coming
gunslinger.
of Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's tall and white and a gunslinger, but I don't think he's handsome.
Oh, he
No, he's
handsome.
not handsome.
Do you think he's ruggedly handsome?
He handsome.
Mm,
He handsome.
Hey,
big fan of
Super Bowl
MVP.
Super Bowl MVP.
So you know,
Handsome.
I remember. I'm well aware of
Yeah,
what
I know.
Joe
I
Flacco
know.
has done over the years.
I know you are, but I'm just saying, like,
He-
that's them some credentials, man.
Yeah, he's been a baller. So yeah, I said they probably should, but they'll be having. So Jacksonville, if they win the division, which they will, I think they'll beat. Oh, is Lawrence playing? He's going to play. Yeah,
Let's.
they'll beat the
assume-
Panthers anyway.
Yeah, let's assume they'll beat the Panthers,
And then I think they'll beat
and
the
then that'll
Titans.
be, and then that'll be that.
Although
yeah.
it's a real Vrabel move, like Belichick coaching tree move in week 18 to fuck a team's playoff run by beating them.
Oh,
It's a real Vrabel thing to do, so it wouldn't shock me.
That's a real Patriots thing
And
to
the
do, too.
Titans play fucking hard. Like
Yeah, they play hard.
they're done, and every week they still absolutely get after
Yeah,
it.
they play hard. Yep.
So they've given some teams some runs.
At the end of the day, it is the NFL. Like you can't just like fucking phone it in. Like you got to play hard.
You definitely can. There's plenty of teams that do that.
What phone it in?
Yeah, 100%. All what they do is they all start playing for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like the DNs start not caring about stopping the run. They just keep shooting past the tackle, because they want 3 sacks.
Trying to get
So then a
sacks.
team goes, "Oh, he's a fucking good pass rush. He had 7 sacks last year."
Yeah.
You know, that's what teams start doing.
Or it's we need to fucking get another 50 yards or 2 catches. So let's just target a receiver. Get a $1 million
bonuses.
bonus.
Well, I remember Aaron Rodgers used to openly say down the last 5 games, if guys had bonuses they needed to get for
Yeah.
yardage and stuff, he'd start feeding them the ball to try and get them their
Yeah.
bonuses.
So we should.
There's clips of Brady and Gronk at Tampa.
Yeah,
Simply,
100%.
like
yeah.
Brady asking him how many he needs
That's right.
and
yeah.
going back in for one more drive to get his bonus, then coming out fucking mid-drive.
There's also the coach. Who was the coach at the Texans last year when the owners told him to lose the last game of the season?
No idea.
Fuck.
Well,
Lovey Smith.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, cool. I'll lose the coach.
Yeah.
I'll lose." And then went and told his team they told us to lose, and then
Yeah.
fucking won.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you know what?
Yeah.
Worked out because they got CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have got sucked in by Bryce Young if they had
Yeah.
the number 1 pick.
Yeah, maybe.
So it all worked out for them.
I really think that 1-2 pick is always a situation of whoever doesn't get picked is going to be the better player, because it's always the hype on that number 1 pick
There's a lot of
that
hype on
you
maybe.
you fuck up that decision. Where
Yeah.
you don't have a choice.
Unless it's Andrew Luck.
Yeah, but if you don't have a choice,
Well, in fairness, RG3 went second.
RG3 was
Andrew
in
Luck's
that.
year, and he
Kirk
was
Cousins went
fucking
fucking
good.
round 4.
Kirk Cousins was wild.
There's like number 1 draft pick doesn't always mean you're going to be a fucking star. And
Well,
there's
top 10 picks in the NFL are only known to work out 50% of the time.
yeah, like
Now the 50% that work out are a much higher level.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
they end up being like
Oh,
really
absolute
studs.
superstars.
That's not really a good strike rate, is it?
but
No.
if you
Quarterbacks in the first round being Pro Bowlers is something like 30%.
Wow. Yeah, so a lot of teams reach for quarterbacks.
And then people go, "Oh, you draft quarterbacks later." The percentage of quarterbacks that make Pro Bowl after the first round is like 4%.
Yeah.
So-
right. Yeah.
So it's still
There's a huge
it's
drop-off,
still
yeah.
relative. Like you still want that's because most of the good quarterbacks go in the first round.
Yeah, correct.
So all right, then we've got the wild cards. We've got Cleveland as I said 10-5 in the 5 seed, Buffalo 9-6 in the 6 seed,
Mhm.
and Indy are the 7 seed right now at 8-7. And then you have Houston at 8-7, Pittsburgh at 8-7, Cincinnati at 8-7, and then Vegas and Denver both at 7-8.
Right. So I think
7 and 8, I think they're done.
yeah.
they're just too far out. There's too much.
I don't trust the Raiders either. I don't care if they're
No.
But they can win the next 2 games and still miss out simply because
Yes.
results can't go their way.
And like they'd have to rely on Buffalo losing the next 2 games. And who do Buffalo play this week?
Buffalo got New England this week.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Buffalo. Well, it's a Belichick thing.
And
It
a
fucking
division
ruins
game
someone's
too, yeah.
season. I think Buffalo win that game. I think they're for real, and I think they got their scare last week.
Yeah.
And I think they're probably going to be like, "Oh, we're going to come in and not fuck this up. We can't, go blow out the Cowboys and then almost lose to the Chargers, then lose to the Patriots. Like we can't lose to the 2 worst teams in the AFC."
Yeah. No shit.
And cost ourselves the playoffs. Because right now, if they run in hot to that game in Miami, that's going to be a wild last game. So I think Buffalo win this week. They get to 10-6. I think that would lock them into the playoffs.
Surely.
Let me look. At
Surely.
the
10
scenario.
wins will get you in. Surely.
Well, you'd have to think unless Indy.
No. So
Really?
for them to clinch this week, they need a win. Pitt need to lose or tie. Cincy lose or tie, And then there's
So who
another,
have Pittsburgh and
there's another
Cincinnati got?
10, 11 other ways they can do it.
Who have Indianapolis got? Because I'm fucking sick of them hanging around, to be quite frank.
Nah, India are going to make the fucking playoffs. They got Vegas this week. India making the playoffs. I said it fucking 5 weeks ago.
Do you reckon they beat? Is it in Oakland?
Versus ALV. So yeah, in Indy.
In Indy? I don't know. I just think the Magic's going to run out in Indy. I don't want them to be the 7th seed at all. I just think, like, in saying that though, I don't want Pittsburgh. I wanted Denver, but then they've just fucking
Yeah,
shot
they've
themselves in
shattered
the
their
foot
past
the
2
last
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
In winnable games, just cost themselves. But they let the fucking Bears pump them.
Yeah, I know. That was so weird, man. That was a bad loss. I remember thinking, seeing that result and thinking, oh yeah, that's it. Playoffs are done.
Fields didn't even play that well. They were just, it was weird. It was a weird loss. And then of course you've got Pittsburgh, who fucking will hang around. They'll probably win this week to get their above 500 season and then lose next
in
week.
Seattle. It's a tough fucking game.
No, Seattle will win that game against Pittsburgh.
That's what I mean. Like Seattle, that's a tough game to go to Seattle and beat them.
Yeah, out of conference as well.
Who did
That's
Seattle almost lose to on the weekend as well?
Somebody, but Seattle need to win this week as well to make playoffs.
Yeah, we'll get to the NFC next. Yeah, so you've got, I think Seattle will take care of Pittsburgh this week at home.
So who realistically of the 7, who can jump out and who can jump in?
I don't think Vegas and Denver, if they make it, so much shit has to go
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
They've got to win both their games and rely on 4 or 5 teams losing.
Right.
So if they
Yeah.
do, it'll be fantastic and it'll be a fucking big surprise, but I don't think they will.
Seahawks beat the Titans last week by 3.
That's right. They
Yeah,
got
the Titans,
the
yeah.
game-winning field goal. So I think we can rule them out, which leaves Cincinnati, who again, Cincinnati play the Chiefs this week. I think the Chiefs beaten them, and then that's
them done.
which
Yep.
sucks because if they had Joe Burrow, they're probably a 12-win team. But
We know that.
if
We
you have
know
some
that.
butts of candies and nuts,
Exactly.
over
Yeah.
Christmas. So,
And he's not playing, so they're not that good.
100%.
Which yeah.
so I want to rule out Cincy. I don't think they're going to make it.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, I think they lose to Seattle this week, which then
Rule them out.
it chops them out.
Puts them at 8-8 as well. So we could have a losing season in Pittsburgh.
Hallelujah.
But then he'll win the
No.
last game of the season.
Nah, they won't because we against the Ravens at home.
Yeah, but you know what? If the Ravens win this week, man, they might lock up the 1 seed and not give a fuck.
No,
Oh, and
Not
rest players, you reckon?
not against Pittsburgh.
You don't reckon they go?
No,
you remember what's cost you guys playoffs the last few years? Lamar being hurt.
Yeah.
Not against
injuries.
You reckon they'll risk Lamar and starters getting hurt?
Yeah.
They will not.
Rocky, I'll tell you,
No.
I bet
If the 1 seed is locked, they will
Okay.
not play Pittsburgh.
Any other fucking team, they would
I know
not
what you're
play.
saying. I know what you're saying.
Pittsburgh fucking Steelers. They will
Nah,
play.
I don't reckon. Sorry.
It's Cowboys versus fucking Eagles. It doesn't matter if it's a preseason game.
I'll tell you
or
what.
They're playing hard football.
I'll put a 10-pack of hard solos for the fridge.
Oi.
Put it above fridge. All right. If Baltimore have the 1 seed after this weekend, if they win this weekend and get the 1 seed locked down, they don't need to win nothing. Like it'll change nothing if they win or lose.
They're resting
Like,
everybody.
how do you classify they rest players?
Oh well, let's just make it specific. They rest Lamar.
He doesn't play at all.
Yes, at all.
All right, yeah.
At all. Deal.
Oh,
A gentleman's agreement.
You saw it.
A 10-pack for the bar fridge, and then we'll drink them together anyway.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a
That's a
fun
win-win. I'll go to Costco again.
one. Yeah, it's a fun one. All right, so then we can rule. I'm ruling out Pittsburgh. I don't think they're going to win this week. Houston, as I said last week, the Magic ran out.
Yeah.
They strapped a win last week.
But let's see. If they kick a fucking field goal 5 weeks ago, they make playoffs.
Mate,
They fell half a yard short.
if they didn't fall half a yard short against the Jags,
Yeah.
they're 9-7 and winning the division right now.
Yeah.
And not only winning the division, a game clear in the division with 2 games left.
Yeah.
So, but you said, if you have some butts, I don't want to go back, but they didn't. But I think Houston, gallant season, but I just don't think they're going to get there. Which leaves us
Still an amazing rookie season from
Which
Stroud
leaves us
and
with-
D'Amico.
fucking Indy, because I'm not sure on Indy either. Like, I'm sure on the top 6 teams. I really am. I think I think Jags win this week. I think Baltimore win. Miami then either lose to Buffalo and become the 5 or 6 seed, or beat Buffalo and win the division.
You
And
know,
Buffalo.
The 7 seed's pointless because you're going to have to fucking go to Miami and play in Miami.
Play Miami, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Or Buffalo.
Or
No.
no, the KC, if KC win the next 2 games and then Buffalo beat Miami, KC are the 2 seed.
Yeah, right.
And then you would have to go to Kansas City
Exactly.
and play
That
like the stadium alone is enough to fucking
it's enough
to
to-
blow your brains.
Put that game on Nickelodeon because no one's actually going to give a fuck about watching
No.
that playoff game.
And that's always the dangerous ones.
Yes.
That's the one. I remember when they did that a few years ago when the Titans scraped into the playoffs and they had the Patriots in the first round.
Yeah.
And then Vrabel fucking not the last game Brady played for the Patriots. And Malcolm Butler picked him
Threw a
off.
pick
Yeah,
six.
that's right, yeah.
The pick six at the end of the game. I was like, yes, it's no fun when the pick sixes happen to you,
No,
are they, Brady?
no, it's
you
no
loved
fun.
Malcolm Butler when you're giving him Hummers a few years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, like the car, not the sex move, the Hummer.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one. That's one for the adults. So yeah, well, that's how I say it. I think I'll give my predictions first. You guys can then tell me if I'm a fuckwit. I think I'm right. I think Baltimore get the 1 seed. Miami lose to Baltimore this week, then lose to Buffalo. Buffalo win the division, and they're the 3 seed. KC win out and become the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Jags win the division, get the 4 seed, and just limp into the playoffs.
Yep.
Cleveland. Who did Cleveland play? Sorry, did we do this?
Cleveland have New York Jets this week
So I think
at home.
they beat the New York Jets, and that basically locks them up to 5. Oh no, not necessarily, because they have to win both games to get the 5 seed if Buffalo win both games.
Yeah.
So who have Cleveland got in the last week?
Either way, it'll be Cleveland 5
But
or 6, and then Dolphins 5 or 6.
Yep.
And then I think the 7. I don't fucking care who the 7 seed is at this point. I'd love it to be Houston.
Houston, yeah.
Did you say the Houston play Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Houston are in.
So what I want Houston and Indy to either both win this week or both lose this week. I don't care either way. And I want Pittsburgh to lose this week. So then Indy and Houston play each other for the 7th seed.
And winner gets in. Yeah.
And Stroud comes back.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the dream.
Flops his cock out.
Yes. It's not as big as Lamar's, I've heard. Well, I don't know if it's as big. It's not as fast because he's a quarterback, not a running back.
Not a running back.
That's how I see the AFC working out. What do you guys reckon? You with me?
I don't know. As much as I'd love to see that scenario of Miami losing and then losing 2 in a row, I just don't see it, bro.
I want Buffalo because Buffalo's quarterback's tall, white, and handsome, and a gunslinger.
And a gunslinger.
And Tua's tall, white, and halfsome, and a gunslinger.
I don't think he's that tall, bro. I think he's only like 6 foot.
Is he really?
Yeah, I don't think he's that tall.
Fucking Drew Brees territory. He looked pretty tall on the weekend when Micah Parsons was getting dragged to the fucking ground by left tackles trying to sack him, just quietly.
I did see that. I did see your post.
I don't even care. Like refs are
6-1.
inconsistent
6-1,
and shit.
6-1.
Yeah, the refs are inconsistent and shit. They've been crap all year. But the fact that Micah Parsons hasn't got a holding call on him since the fucking Chargers game in week 3.
36 quarters of football.
Yes, and on the weekend when the Chargers got that game, the Dolphins drove the field to get the field goal, which was a nice drive by
Has he
them.
been talking shit about the refs or something?
Yeah, he did a post saying,
Well, that's probably why.
basically saying, "I'm sorry for whatever I've done to your refs."
Yeah.
Like, stop. Like he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry for whatever I did." But
he was talking shit, and now they're like, "Oh, well,
there
you
was a
wanna talk
holding
shit."
call, which was the picture I put up.
Yeah.
That was on the game-winning drive that Tua had.
Yeah.
And Tua, he was literally held for that was the end of the hold. He was held for about 5 steps. If he doesn't get held on that, he drills Tua in the back.
Yeah.
Now, who knows what happens? Like, you don't fucking know. But at some point, like I said, the Eagles game, it shit me to tears because Jalen Carter got like 5 holding calls on him for the same shit. And then Parsons goes to run out to the side, gets pulled back in, and the refs just don't do it. So I don't think it's like a bias or anything. I just think the refs, who said a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the Chiefs, it's Paul Egan said it to me. It was like unbiased, like it's not biased, but it's success because you're so successful that you don't get the calls. Because Parsons so fucking good and he wins all the time.
It was about fucking Mahomes. It was the quote Georgie put in the group chat about Mahomes and not getting calls anymore.
Yeah.
It's when
unconscious bias, he called it.
Yeah.
So it's like he's so good and he always wins that half the time I don't reckon the refs would even be watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree. He's very good.
But that's the case of if he's not getting through, he's getting fucking held.
Yeah.
It's like if we're not open, they're holding.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
That's the thing.
I just think overall the reffing has been terrible this year.
Atrocious. Oh, except for the Eagles game against the Giants. They got a little bit of a helping hand in that one.
A few little
ones went your way, though.
I was going to just gloss over that. I wasn't even going to bring that up. But,
It was funny because I sent a clip to JA. It was like 4 or 5 different plays that penalty should have got called on.
Yeah.
And I could hear the tone in the message JA said back, just how mad he was with fucking reffing.
I just want
Of Micah-
Parsons to get
Micah
it. And you know what's
Parsons
going to
not gonna
happen? The first play this weekend, Micah Parsons is going to get a holding
Holding
call.
call,
And it won't be holding. It'll be against Penay Sewell.
Yeah.
And it won't even be a holding. And Penay Sewell will be like,
It'll be a
"Come
nothing
on, man,
call.
like, come on.
There's a
Um,
holding call. See you later.
No, but I thought I couldn't get mad about it because it was against the Giants and fuck the Giants.
Fuck the Giants.
And as much as I dislike the Eagles, I fucking hate the Giants.
But so
and it knocked them out of the playoffs.
yeah, that's it. And we'll knock them out, and we'll clinch a spot, and you guys clinch a spot too. So
Perfect. It was perfect. Like a fuck the Giants. It's what we wanted
Kismet.
all year.
beautiful,
You know?
beautiful.
Are we still going to do that fucking thing with
The meme.
George J.A.
I'll
fuck
Dylan-
the Giants?
I'll make it tonight.
Dylan, you son of a bitch, me.
All right. Do you guys have anything different in the AFC, or you just think the Dolphins will win?
I think it's unlikely that they're going to lose 2 in a row heading into the playoffs.
You got to remember they only just beat their first 500 team on the weekend.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's unlikely. I think
the Dolphins are a good team too.
They're a good team.
Like I said before we started, like I don't know why the Cowboys are getting so much fucking shit for losing to the second
The
second
2 seed
top-
in the AFC.
the 2 seed in the AFC
Yeah.
by a field goal late in the game.
Late in the game. Yeah.
Like-
And Dak, in fairness, like Dak drove the field, he fucking scored with less than 2 minutes to go.
He
like,
wasn't perfect, Dak, for the game, but
yeah,
when
he
the
did- he
when the
did- he
game
did
was
what
on
he
the
supposed to do.
line,
He did what he was
and then in
supposed to do.
fairness to Tua and the Dolphins, when they could have scored a field goal way earlier, but they kept getting those third down rushes
Yeah.
and draining the clock, and
Draining
that
the
was
clock. Yep.
smart clock.
That was, but and they still had to get those first downs though. They still had to do
100%.
it,
They
so-
played really well, and I actually thought it was a really good
It
game.
was 2 good teams playing
Like,
well. Like, what more do you want, bro? This is the NFL.
And I knew the Cowboys' run was going to be tough. I knew Buffalo and Miami on the road were going to be
yeah,
tough.
of course.
I didn't think they were going to win.
Yeah, it was a
So-
tough run home.
And I
Always gonna
think
be tough.
I honestly thought they'd win one of those 3 games, including Detroit this week. I think it'll be Detroit this week
Yeah.
at home because I think they're going to come out.
I think we'll get to the NFC anyway,
Yeah.
but Cowboys at home are a really different team.
They're
than on
complete,
the
the
road.
problem is they're not going to get the 1 seed, so it's going to kill them.
They're not going to get any home games.
They're going to have to learn how to play on the road
Yeah.
real fucking
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Unfortunately, because 2 seasons ago they were the road dogs. They
Yeah,
were undefeated on the road.
Yeah.
So like they can't work themselves out right now.
All right, should we go over to the NFC?
Let's get into this.
Do you have anything different in the AFC, or you
Nah, I'm about that. The only
you
thing
got Colts in 7?
I see, yeah,
Yeah, he had that pick from 6 weeks ago.
Fuck Minshew. Actually, no, I like Minshew.
I love Gardner Minshew. I love some jorts.
Is there any way that the Indianapolis could end up playing the Jags in an elimination game and Minshew could go back to Jacksonville and
I'd love to
because
see it.
that would be outstanding. But I don't think it's possible, or a lot would have to go their
A
way.
lot has to go their way.
Yeah.
All right, NFC. Let's
NFC.
go NFC.
So currently we got San Fran, Philly.
In the 1 seed.
Yeah, so let's go 1 to 7. San Fran 11-4, Philly 11-4, Detroit 11-4.
Yep.
Tampa 8-7, Dallas at 10-5 at the 5 seed. 6 is LA Rams 8-7, and the Seahawks are
The 7 seed.
8-7 as well as the 7 seed.
Yep.
I was going to say straight away that should be the 7 playoff teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Fuck Minnesota. Like
Don't-
they've done a great job without Kirk Cousins, and I'll cut them some slack. When you lose a quarterback, it's fucking
I
hard.
think if Kirk was still playing, they'd be the 7 seed.
I think if Kirk was still playing, they'd probably be on 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personally. I think they'd still be alive in the division.
Yeah, I agree.
They'll be the same as Dallas, where they're going to lose. They're not going to lose their division by half a game,
Yeah.
1 game.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I agree. I think, but I just don't think that they can get it. Let's just quickly do the 4 seed, which is the NFC South, because Tampa Bay are a game up now at 8-7.
Yep.
In fairness, and we talked as like Baker is fucking balling out.
Yeah,
right
yeah, he's
Yeah.
playing well. He's
like,
playing well.
absolutely balling out. He's feeding Mike Evans
Yep.
and Godwin. They're running the ball well. Rashad White is the best running back.
See,
in
Mike
the open
Evans broke
field.
another record this week.
Yeah, Mike Evans is a freak. show.
Something to do. I read it somewhere. It was like
It was most seasons with 10 yard.
most
10
most
touchdowns.
seasons with 10 plus touchdowns or something.
Yeah, it
and
was
it was
something
like, mate, if you saw the list, there was only 4 other people on that list. It's like Jerry
I think
Rice.
It was 12 touchdowns
Yeah.
because he had 11 and he got 2.
He's got 13 at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was like the most seasons in a row with 12 touchdowns or something like that. And he went tied with Randy Moss. And
yeah, and
Jerry
Jerry
Rice,
Rice and whatever. So
Mike Evans is going to end up
Mike
being.
Evans.
He's going to end up being a first ballot once he wins.
Oh, absolutely.
Mate, the numbers. If you go with the numbers, he has to be.
So I think so. Who do we think? Because we've got Atlanta are 7-8, so only a game behind. But I think Tampa Bay are in the tiebreaker, so they'd be a game and a half behind them in the division.
Where's the NFC South? NFC South. So yeah, so Tampa's 8-7, Atlanta 7-8, New Orleans 7-8 as well. Atlanta this week have
At this
the
point, I
Bears
want
and the
Tampa Bay.
Saints.
purely because Baker's playing the best of all the quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's
and I
playing the
think
best
they're the
of all the
only team
quarterbacks.
that may
Yeah.
have a chance of doing
But
something.
like doing something against the 5th seed, which will be either the Cowboys or the Eagles.
Yeah.
Really.
So the Saints play the Bucks this week and then the Falcons in the last week, so they can just knock them out. If Bucks win, they knock them out.
So who the Bucks play?
The Bucks have the Saints this week, and then
The Falcons.
so Saints are playing Falcons. Bucks are playing Panthers last week.
Oh, so
Right.
if Bucks win this week, they basically win the division.
Yeah.
Because then Atlanta are a game and a half.
They could end up on 10 wins.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, if,
No, 9 wins. No, 10 wins. You're right. Sorry, I'm stupid. Yeah,
Yes.
I was back in the old
Because-
16 game season.
Because 8 plus 2 equals 10.
It's 10. Correct. I was back in the old 10 and 6 days. I forgot that if you're
It's mate, no bullshit.
playing extra game, I miss 8 no bullshit.
Yeah, so do I. Shout out to Jeff Fisher.
Are we all on Tampa to win the division?
I was, and part of me still is a bit of a Baker hater, but you can't deny how well he's been playing. And you want the best players playing well in the playoffs. So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I want them in.
And then let's I think the Cowboys are going to be the 5th seed. I don't think they can take the division now.
So Philly play
Cardinals,
Arizona in Arizona this week.
and then the Giants
And
the
then-
Giants.
And then the Giants at the Giants. So 2 road games to finish the season. Like, they're not guaranteed wins, bro.
but they'd have to lose both of them against 2 of the worst teams in the NFL, and Dallas would have to beat the Lions and then the Commanders.
Yeah.
Commanders on the road, I believe.
I think it's in Washington. Yeah.
Washington.
yes. But I feel like if you guys don't beat Detroit this week, Philly will shut up shop and they'll rest players last week.
Yeah, they won't need to. Yeah,
because they'll have the
unless they can get the 1 seed, because they're still
Yeah,
they're
they're
tied for
tied
the
with
1
the
seed.
1
Right now.
seed, yeah.
but San Fran have got the tiebreaker.
They got the tiebreaker, so they're up right. But who does San Fran play?
San Fran play this week. They got Washington Commanders.
Okay, so the 1 seed's over.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So San Fran can win it this week. If San Fran win, Detroit lose, and Philly lose. That's the only way they can lock it up this week.
Right.
Well, okay, so that comes to the question: are the Cowboys beating Detroit at home?
You never know.
In Dallas, yes.
Dallas. It
In
is
Dallas,
a dome.
yes.
It is a dome.
It is
though.
a dome.
No. Cowboys at home this season have been basically untouchable.
Yeah, and I think
I'd
that
love to
from
know
the
what
last.
their point differential is at home. Can we find that? It'd be
Yeah,
fucking
I'll
astronomical.
find it. Well, I know that offensively they score 39.7 points a game at home,
Right.
and 22.3 on the road.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That's
That's
almost
3
3
scores.
touchdowns,
3 scores, yeah.
which is astronomical.
Yeah.
So they are much better at home.
Their point differential at home would be fucking astronomical. They smash teams at home.
So I think how it goes, I think the Cowboys beat Detroit this week. The Cowboys then lock the 5th seed up.
Yep.
Because they've got 11 wins. They've locked the 5th seed. I think Philly win out. I really do believe they win out.
Right. Which
And
will give us
13 wins.
13 wins, yep.
Which means that San Fran will need to win the next 2 games.
We'll also need to win out to get the 1
Get
seed.
the 1 seed.
If they drop a game,
And who did we say San Fran played? They play the Commanders this week, which they'll win. They'll beat the Commanders. Who do they play weeks 18?
San Fran. Sorry, just getting to it now.
All good.
yeah, it's okay, buddy. Thank you.
Fuck's sake.
Fucking hell.
Asking questions. Should have fucking.
We should have
set me up.
printed out the schedule.
They got the Rams last week at home.
See, that's not an easy win either.
That's another divisional game.
But in saying that though, it won't matter for Philly, because if San Fran win this week and Philly win this, because they could lose
we're
and
still
jump them.
alive.
Like you
Still
got to
alive,
get
yeah.
a game up on them.
They got to win. They got to win out.
Yeah.
If
If Philly
Philly,
win, out,
if
yeah.
Philly win out, they got to win out.
So let's just, I get those 2 are going to play. But I think I think Philly are going to win the division, because the way it works, even if the Cowboys tie with them on wins, it'll go head to head, which we're 1-1.
One and then in conference,
Which
yeah,
we're the
record.
same.
Yep.
Right now, if we're
And
shooting
then
you
is it in
guys
division? And then is it in division?
and then it's in division,
Yeah.
which you guys it goes schedule, which you guys have had a hard
Oh, strength of schedule. Yeah,
by
we
something
have.
like
Yeah.
0.5 of a percent.
Right.
So then you guys would get it. So
Yeah.
because I saw this other day, the guy was saying even if the Cowboys win out and the Eagles win out, the Eagles win the division on the tiebreakers.
On that. Yeah. Okay,
So,
yeah.
I think Cowboys will end up being a 12-win 5 seed, because they'll beat
Which I did say at the start of the season. Remember, I said that's
12
you said
wins,
you're
yeah.
going to be 11 or 12 wins and be the 5 seed.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Do you want to know what the point differential for Cowboys is?
At home,
At home.
Yep.
171 plus.
I told you.
That's
I
fucking
told ya.
mental.
I fucking told you.
279 points at home.
If only we didn't get to play all the good teams on the road.
Mm.
It might affect the point differential, but we've played every good team on the road.
Yeah.
And we played all the shit teams at home.
You played the Jets, New England,
I think
Rams before
well,
they got their shit together.
even though we've had a
Giants,
tough schedule,
Washington,
like I think Philly have been a bit lucky in that we've played a lot of good teams at home.
Yeah,
We've,
that's
like
true.
snuck by.
And that's just the luck of the draw.
Luck of the
You can never help that. So I think Cowboys win this week. That'll lock them up the 5 seed. Then Detroit, they've won the division. They're going to be the 3 seed because Tampa Bay can't. They're 3 games behind and they can't win 3 games. So it'll go San Fran or Philly as the 1, which I think is going to be the only bad exciting thing in the NFC.
I think San Fran have got
I
it.
think San Fran will probably win out. I'm pretty confident though. The Rams, as I said, the Eagles might lose this week. I doubt it. And then the Rams might not even matter. 49ers Rams, but is it 49ers Rams at home? Are they at?
It's at
49ers?
49ers, I'm pretty sure.
It is at the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they'll win that anyway. Although the Rams are playing hot at the moment.
Yeah, it won't. Even if Philly do win out, it won't matter because San Fran are going to win out.
Yeah, I think either way, San Fran and Philly
you
will
got
be
to
1 and
remember
2.
that the only reason that they lost on the weekend was because they threw 5 picks. Like that's not going to happen every week.
Because Brock Purdy's not a good quarterback.
No, he's
Because there was bad pizza topping on his pizza this week. Because he's only the base. Nah, he just had he had a bad
He's
day.
had a bad day.
Had a
It
fucking
happens
bad
all
day.
the time.
I quite like Purdy.
He's been,
I do like.
you got to remember that like for the majority of the year he's been making the right reads, he's been making the right throws, he's been holding on to the ball, he's been protecting leads.
The
like, he's
shittest
been
part
playing
is
well.
if you're a D end and you have a bad game like that, no one fucking knows.
Yeah.
But if you're a quarterback, it's so obvious.
It's front page.
Yes.
It's front page.
You know,
material,
if you're a corner and you have a bad day like that, everyone knows because you're getting burnt
You're
every
getting
fucking
burnt.
play.
Yeah.
You know,
there's
there's
3 touchdowns.
if you're if you're a run stopping D tackle and you have a game that atrocious, maybe you're benched in the second quarter and no one ever fucking notices.
no one even noticed.
You know what I mean? Like it's such a top, like it's such a big swing.
Yeah, but it's it's the highest profile position though.
That's why they get paid $50
That's why
million
they
a
get
year,
$50 million
and
a
it's
year.
why you need one to win.
Yep.
That's why they win MVPs.
I also just want to bring back to stat my brother sent to me today.
Shout out.
Mm.
Kyle Shanahan, big fan of the show. Kyle Shanahan going into the 4th quarter, down 3 points or more, is 4-35.
Wow.
Down 8 points in the 4th is 0-38.
Right. Okay.
What's his record as an offensive coordinator when he's up 28-3 at half? I think he'd be 0-1.
I think it's 0-1.
0-1.
Check the archives.
Yeah.
Let me quickly find that one.
Sorry,
0-1.
Falcons fans, for ruining the only good year you've had in fucking 20
It
years.
was a good year though.
It was a good year. Yeah, good year.
It was the best times, it was the worst at times.
I guess that leaves us with we're pretty sure on the top 5 teams, 6 and 7. Right now, we've got the Rams and Seattle. I think the Rams are just about the hottest team in the NFC right now.
Yeah, they're playing well.
They're not beating really that. Oh no, they beat on the weekend. It was
So
someone good over
right now, if the playoffs stayed like this, who would they play week 1? They play the 3rd seed.
They would play Detroit at Detroit,
Right.
which is what we want.
Yeah.
We want the Rams to finish 6, Detroit to finish 3.
Yeah.
So Matt Stafford returns to Detroit.
Back, the prodigal son
But it's
returns.
not even that. It's Jared Goff going back as
Oh, it's Jared
Having
Goff
re-
versing McVay as well. I
Right.
forgot
it's
about that.
such a good
So-
fucking script.
At this point, the NFL is scripted, right?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then
It'll
I guess for that to happen, the Rams need to win this week. Detroit lose this week. They stay. Or Detroit are going to be the 3. So we need Detroit to lose this week and the Rams to win, and then it's basically done.
Done. Yes.
Because even if unless Seattle win this week, who Seattle are playing, we talked about this before. Seattle have got the Pittsburgh Steelers coming to
Steelers.
them. They should win, which will put them both on 9 and 7. Who do Minnesota play this week?
Green Bay in Green Bay.
Oh,
Green Bay at home. Check that. Green Bay at home.
I want Green Bay to beat them. Oh no, because Green Bay is 7-8-2, so that would keep them alive.
keep them
8-8.
alive too. Yeah.
It's going to be wild. Like the last week is going to have about 5 games that matter, and in the traditional NFL fashion, they'll schedule them all to be at the same time.
Of course, they fucking.
and it will be outstanding.
I love it.
Because Red Zone will just be fucking
Yeah,
lit.
it'll
And
just be going
I'll be
off.
down here at 5 a.m. Monday morning, just fucking going off, trying to
losing
work
it.
out who's winning. Who do we think is that? Because I think right now the way the playoffs is should be it. I think this is the best 7 teams in the NFC.
Yeah. Maybe you could swap out Seattle for maybe like Green Bay. I think they could do well.
Nah,
Green Bay had their chance. Like
They've
they
been 30.
sucked us in fucking 3 weeks ago,
Mm,
much like Denver, and then cocked it up to,
Yeah, they did.
2 crappy
Yeah,
teams,
they
basically.
did. They did.
What's going to be amazing is that Minnesota, like the Raiders beat the Chiefs on the weekend. They also lost 3 to fucking, and then they lost 3-0 to the Vikings, then pants the Chargers by 50 points and then beat the Chiefs. Like if the Raiders just didn't lose that game to Minnesota, they're in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
A 3-zip fucking loss.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It is wild that
Yeah.
happens. And then the run they've gone on the next 2 weeks
Yeah.
is just It's bizarre. The NFL, it's such parity in the NFL.
Well, that's
And I
that's
don't
what
mean
they
that
want.
negatively.
That's what
Like,
they want.
the teams are just so good.
Yeah, but how good is it that like it's 2 weeks to go and there's fucking 20 teams that are still alive?
Fun fact: Chicago Bears are still alive on 6-9.
Wow.
Shout out Brocky Wellington.
How can they?
I don't understand. Well, yeah, if they win out,
And then everyone else loses.
I don't understand.
That they would need a win out. Let's just put it that way.
They'll need a win out, which would make them 8
8
and 9.
They
They would need Rams, Seattle, Minnesota, Atlanta, Green Bay, and New Orleans to all lose out.
All lose out.
So it's actually not fucking impossible
It's
at
not
all.
impossible, but
I also don't think Chicago will win out because they'll play Green Bay last game of the season.
They got Atlanta this week.
So that'll decide Atlanta. Who do we take? I'm Chicago will beat Atlanta.
yeah, they'll beat Atlanta.
I think Atlanta are dog shit.
Is
yeah,
that is that
absolutely.
in Chicago?
I think,
Uh,
fun fact, Atlanta lose this week, don't make the playoffs. They let Arthur Smith coach
Yeah.
next week, and he is fired. He's the first Black Monday.
Yeah,
coach
Black
fired.
Monday. Yeah, Black Monday for
Has-
sure.
We call it that anymore?
Charcoal Monday.
That's Charcoal. It's Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. That's my bad.
Black Saturday, which is now
Ooh,
Charcoal Saturday. There's so many bushfire references.
very, very
Is it-
nice here, boys.
Are they going to have sales on that day as well, or
I don't know.
I could go some shopping?
Very thin ice here, boys. Let's keep rolling, please.
What's next?
I can't believe George is the moral.
No,
victim
no,
of this show.
it's crazy. isn't it?
What a fucking character arc for George.
Yeah, I know.
If anyone's offended by that, we're talking about the fires in Australia that they have days for. That's what we're talking about. I think this will be the 7 teams though. I think San Fran will get the 1 seed at 13-4. I think Philly will get the 2 seed at 13-4.
Yeah.
I think Detroit will be the 3 seed at 12-4. They'll lose to Cowboys this
12
week, and then
yeah,
they'll win their
12 and
last
4.
game and be 12-4. Tampa Bay will probably win their division at 9 or 10 wins. Don't really care who they did last week of the season. Cowboys will be the 5 seed. I think they'll win 12 games,
12 games, yeah.
unless going into week 17 they can't drop out of the 5 seed and they'll rest all their starters.
Yeah,
and
they
let
probably
Washington
will.
beat them again like they did last year.
They
and don't
probably
care.
will, yeah.
And that fooled them into thinking Sam Howell was a good quarterback.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that in the last game. Rest your players, mate. There's nothing wrong with that.
So Cowboys actually played the biggest trick on the Washington football team last year by letting Sam Howell beat them in his only start of the year.
Yeah, that's right,
In week 18 last year, meant they committed to him as a starter and then painted themselves into a corner this year. And now they've got Jacoby Brissett coming in to relieve him and playing much better than Sam Howell. And then I think the Rams. Who are the Rams this week? Sorry, I know they got Niners last week.
They've got New York Giants this week.
So I think the Rams will
in
pump the
New
Giants.
York.
Is it a Rams thing to lose to the Giants though this week?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. The Stafford's playing really well, man. They're hot. They're playing hot.
But
They're
is
hot.
it's a
Yeah, but
Rams
that's
thing
a
to do?
Stafford thing to do as well.
Super Bowl
against
winning
who, bro?
quarterback.
Against Tommy fucking Cutlers. Come on, bro.
Didn't he get benched, Tommy
He
Cutlers?
did get benched.
I've enjoyed all the memes of Italian like mobsters bashing fucking
Did you see that
when,
one?
when
Did you see
the
the
one
I
where
posted
they're
before?
fucking baseball batting the guys.
Yeah.
It's like Dable coming into the locker room at halftime to bench him and he's bashing him with a baseball bat. It's
I love it. Kneecapping him.
It's fucking wild. I think the Rams will beat the Giants this week. You have to think on how well they're playing.
Based on form alone, for
Yeah.
sure.
They got to win that game. That'll lock them into the 6th seed, I believe.
Yes, it would.
That would clinch playoffs.
If the Rams win this week, they can. Rams win, Seattle lose. Rams win, Green Bay, Minnesota tie. They're in.
So yeah, I think Rams win this week. I think Seattle fucking get rid of Pittsburgh for the season. Although again, this is a game Seattle fucking loses at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Pittsburgh like it would not surprise me in the slightest if Pittsburgh come in
You'd
with
have to
fucking Rudolph.
You'd have to think they fucking win that game.
I also think that Mason Rudolph throws minimum 3 interceptions this week and gets into a fight with Myles Garrett even though he's not playing.
He's not playing. Just Myles Garrett runs from the crowd like Stone Cold Steve Austin and just starts fucking bashing him in the head with a helmet.
He definitely
Comes down like Sting on a
Yeah.
There are 2 things I know about this week, and it's not if Seattle will win or not. It's that Mason Rudolph will throw 3 interceptions minimum and racially vilify a defensive end from Seattle.
Perfect.
That's the 2 things I know.
Perfect.
What you're saying is I shouldn't make the same bet I had last week of Mason Rudolph 2 or more passing touchdowns.
Did you have him in your red cup?
Mate, a good week.
I don't even know it went on. Like I was waiting for it, and you did in the morning.
I did it in the morning. Yeah,
It was Christmas Eve. And DC's got-
message DS. I'm like, yeah, do you want to do it Saturday night? And he's like,
He snuck it in on us.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
can
missed
you
it.
do Sunday morning? I'm like, oh, I might be hungover, but yeah, I'll make it.
One
I'll
thing you
make it
could do
work.
with that in the future, I'll show you how to do it. You can do a recording
Oh,
and then post it live, like it's a live show,
Mm.
and then you
Ooh.
can be on
in the chat, talking shit to
So
myself.
as people comment and stuff, you can actually
Oh,
respond. I've done
shit.
it before. I'll show you how to do it.
We're
It's really-
pulling back the curtain.
You'll probably
here.
work out how to do it. It's not fucking hard. If I've worked out
If
how to
you
do
work
it,
it out,
I'm sure you'll be able to work
Let's be honest. If you've worked it out, just better. You probably,
Yeah.
your daughter's upstairs can probably work it out.
it. Mate, they're fucking, they'll be teaching me Facebook soon.
Hey, man.
the Facebooks.
Does anyone think anyone outside of the 7 can get in? No. I don't think
It's-
Minnesota can. I think Atlanta lose this week.
Nah, I think it's pretty sad. And to be fair, I think that they've been the best 7 teams all year in the NFC, so they're deservedly so.
I'd love fucking Chicago to make it.
Oh, fuck,
But if
it would be
Green
unreal.
Bay play
Why?
Minnesota,
Why would you like? Why?
just
why?
because it would be funny that a team that's 6 and 9 makes
to
the
just
playoffs.
to just get fucking pumped.
Yeah, it'd be
Like,
hilarious. And then the Eagles, you'll get to play them in Philly.
I'd rather play Chicago than play Seattle. Seattle a bit of a bunny team for us. Like we can't fucking beat them for some reason.
Yeah, haven't they beaten you like 14 games in a row or something like that? Something
weird
outrageous.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Chicago would also need Green Bay and Minnesota to tie this weekend
Yeesh.
because if one of them win, it's over. So
Yeah.
Chicago got some real tough sledding, but hey, shout out to
The
them. With,
NFL.
shout out to them with 2 games left. They're alive in the
They're
playoff
alive.
race.
Yeah. That's how
Inv-
fucking crazy this season.
invest in Fields. That's all I'm going to say. Invest in him. I like him. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Anyone got anything different?
No, I think that they've been the best 7 teams. I think that it would be a disservice to the playoffs if they weren't the 7 teams that were in.
What would be a disservice to the fucking playoffs if Pittsburgh made it?
Oh God, I'm sick and tired of fucking Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh can just Pittsburgh as an organization can just fuck right
Well, they're
off.
a very good organization. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know, but like
are they
they're
though?
just hanging. Well,
Yes.
no, they're not. I agree with Brock.
They're
They're
very
not.
mediocre.
They're just
Yes.
they're just
They're the masters of being mediocre,
That-
which
that would
means you never shut up.
They
mediocrity.
were good in 1970s.
I was good in
That-
1970. I wasn't born yet, so I had so much promise.
Like,
so much
You know,
potential.
and like to be
Wait.
fair, you know, Big Ben slipped in the draft because of all his issues
he
that he
slipped
had.
in the bathroom too. I think.
Yeah, so he slipped in the draft. They
Fucking-
got him. They
Like
got him.
registered sex offender
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger.
They got him. They got him late. Obviously, he was a great quarterback and he played well. And
He was
good
very
players around him
Went
or whatever.
15-1 in his first season as a rookie. I just knocked this shit off the thing. So anyone watching on video forgot he was there. Anyone watching on the video right now will understand.
Clearly, he was a good player, but
he was a
obviously, like you know, time marches on, and
Yeah, I just want them done. I want them out. I think they should just trade TJ Watt in the offseason to a contender, and just because that's about the only thing keeping them alive in the NFL right
yeah,
now.
right.
Because Pickett's dog shit. Although, I do want to say I do appreciate when a player is fucking copping it from all angles, which Pickens, not the quarterback, the wide receiver,
Wide receiver,
Pickens,
yeah, Pickens,
was fucking copping it for a week. And he went out and played just about one of the best games I've
Yeah.
seen a receiver
yeah,
play
yeah,
all
he played
year.
well. Yep.
And funnily enough, all it took was Rudolph to go, he's one-on-one, fuck it.
Throw him
Yeah.
the fucking ball.
I'm
Throw
putting it
him
up in the air.
fucking ball.
It's the same thing at the Jets, watching Garrett run around. I'm like, every now and again, just fucking
Just throw it to him, yeah.
if I'm a quarterback in the NFL and I see him one-on-one and the pressure's coming, I'm just like,
Just throw
fuck
it up.
It's
Just throw it up.
because
that's the
the
thing.
rules, you're right, the
Yes,
chances of you getting
yes.
a penalty or
Yes.
a catch are so much higher than anything else.
Then
Like,
a
even if
pick
it's a
or-
contested
yeah,
ball,
yeah.
how often does a corner out intercept a wide receiver in a
It's
contested ball?
Very,
But
very
it's,
rarely.
not even that, it's the NFL. These are the best DBs.
Yeah,
You're not going to fucking find an open receiver every time.
put it
Sometimes
up.
You have to fucking
To a
risk a ball.
Big guy
And
with
throw
a
it to him.
big wingspan. Who was the receiver they used to talk about had the wingspan of a 2-car garage? I think it
Megatron.
was
Megatron.
was it Megatron? Was it? I think it was something. Remember those sports
Yeah, no,
science?
it was Megatron. I know the one
I
you're
thought
talking
it
about.
was Justin Blackmon. Remember the Jaguars
Oh,
wide
yeah,
receiver
yeah,
they
yeah.
drafted?
It was,
That was Megatron. Yeah,
it was definitely
he had the
Megatron.
wingspan of a 2-car garage. I remember going out and standing in
He,
front of the
his
garage,
catch,
being like,
yeah.
"There's no way he's got the wingspan."
Nah, it was the catch
it was with
rate.
his
His-
leap.
Yeah, catch
Yeah.
radius
Yeah.
of like
So his leap based off with
Yeah.
his wingspan. Basically, if you threw it to him from more than 10 yards away, anywhere within a 2-car garage of him, he could technically catch it.
Catch it. Yeah, he was a big man.
He's a fucking good player. Did you see when they clinched the division?
I
on
did
the
see
weekend?
that. Yeah.
He replied because when he made the Hall of Fame,
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
2 years ago, wherever it was, they did a post congratulating him. He replied to the
Yeah,
post
this-
saying thank you. Fucking-
Wow.
He's been
Crazy.
holding on
Yeah.
to that
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah.
3 fucking years, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Now's the time." He would have had it saved in his
I
fucking
saw
thing
another
to go
brilliant,
back.
I saw another brilliant stat about Detroit, which was that Dan Campbell's obviously, they've made the playoffs.
Coach of the year, Dan Campbell.
Oh, surely now.
Fuck it,
at
you
this
win your
point.
division for the first time
Yeah.
since 1990. You win Coach of the
And
year.
Yeah,
he
you
was
should.
I saw the stat, you guys would have seen it too, that or you probably remember it. he was on that team that went 0-16.
I
did say that.
And
yeah.
now he's coaching them, and now they're one of the fucking divisions. Crazy, man.
I said, if you don't like Dan Campbell, I feel sorry.
There's something wrong with you. Like,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with you.
Because
For
I
sure.
even I remember I said this when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay and then won the Super Bowl, and people were like, "Oh, it's fucking bullshit," blah 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 blah. And I was like, you don't have to like Tom Brady. I get it,
I
but if
don't
you
like Tom
can't
Brady.
enjoy that and understand how big that was,
Like,
I feel sorry.
It was a big moment. I just don't like Tom Brady because he's a cheater.
Well, he
But
didn't
everyone
really,
fucking cheats.
He didn't really cheat. He didn't deflate the football.
Let's save it for the offseason. We're too late in the piece now. We're too late in the piece.
No, but anyway, my thing was, if you can't enjoy Detroit Lions this year and you couldn't enjoy Tom Brady going and doing that,
Have you gone to Detroit?
I feel sorry for you.
If you
Like,
can't
it's-
enjoy,
yeah.
if you can't enjoy Detroit this year, like, you just don't like football. So
But
that's
also,
it.
like the Tom Brady going to Tampa, who are a historically loser organization,
Yeah.
and then winning them a Super Bowl when everyone was like, all they need is the quarterback. And everyone was like, oh, it's like Aaron Rodgers this year. And look what happened to them. Like, everyone's like,
I think Detroit are historically worse than Tampa, though.
oh, absolutely. Only because Tampa scraped that fucking Super Bowl when
Gruden.
Gruden was there.
yeah.
Like, who was MVP in that Super Bowl? Do you know?
Sap.
No, Dexter Jackson had a pick six. Safety.
Shout
Fun
out.
fact.
Shout out.
No, but the thing is, you got to enjoy greatness when it's happening in front of
I
you.
agree.
Like,
100%, mate.
It's the
We're
same.
never going to have Tom Brady again.
We're not going to have LeBron James again.
Yeah, I agree.
So why are we
The
debating?
best basketball player ever.
You know, and you
Wanna know
who-
in mid-season
the
tournaments?
only people, just as a quick side note, the only people that hang shit on LeBron are these tired fucking old
Yeah.
has-beens that couldn't win anything because of Michael,
Yeah.
and now they're like, because Michael won everything while they were there, they were around,
Yeah,
so
they
like
win
they
games,
couldn't win
yeah.
anything, so
Yeah.
like they can't say that LeBron is better than Michael, because then it further diminishes what they couldn't do when they couldn't beat
I just
Michael.
don't understand why you can't just come out and go, yeah, they're both really fucking good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
which they are.
They've both won a lot of championships. They've both broken records. They're 1A and one. They're 1A. Like
Yeah.
one and
I
one.
don't even know
Like-
why it needs to be discussed.
Like, it's just because there's nothing to talk about. It's like when I said people turning on Dak Prescott this week. I'm like, of all the times to fucking turn on him, why now?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Turn on him 2
Click.
years
Like,
ago when he was
click.
fucking
Yeah,
absolute
like,
dog shit.
Last week he was terrible at Buffalo when everyone was like, "Oh, we'll give him better than that." He gets a game-winning touchdown against a good defense
Yeah.
on the road, beats Jalen Ramsey for the touchdown pass, and it's that they turn.
'Cause
It's not his
idiots-
fault. Turn
idiots-
on fucking passes, not getting a sack on the game-winning. You know what I mean?
It's like Rashad Mendenhall and Joy Taylor and all these other people that have got no fucking idea about anything. They need to say something because they need clicks.
And who's that fucking Skip Bayless? That guy.
Oh,
Skip Bayless.
you should love him. He's a Cowboy.
I know he's a fuckwit. He ruins the Cowboy. He's one
know
of
what
the
I'm loving?
reasons the Cowboys.
You
are
know what I'm
fucked.
loving? Quick side note, shout out to my man Richard Sherman. Now that obviously
made Michael
Shannon
Irvin
Shannon
score
Sharp has left
Yeah,
and gone over with Stephen A because he had a big argument with
Skip.
Skip.
yeah, because he called him boy or something. Didn't he?
No, he was
There
giving.
was a bunch of shit.
There was,
that he was
but
doing.
I think the straw that broke the camel's back was they were talking about. He was talking about Brady actually and saying that like, oh, he's not this and that. And
Yeah,
then Shannon Sharp said something, and he's like, oh, well, he's a better player than you. It's like,
No, it was you're just mad because he's still in the league and you're watched up.
yeah, you're.
And I remember Shannon Sharp going,
I got-
"I'm in the Hall of Fame."
Yeah, I won 3
I got
Super
his
Bowls.
signed fucking helmet up there.
Yeah.
Like
I got-
Shannon Sharp is one of the best tight ends to ever fight,
He-
best
he-
players to ever play the game.
He was Jimmy Graham before Jimmy Graham. he was Gronk before Gronk.
I'll
He
never
was
forget the
Kelsey
clip.
before
Shannon
Kelsey.
Sharp's just like, "I'm in the fucking Hall of Fame." Like,
yeah.
what are you?
Yeah,
not
you're
even the
nobody.
Hall
Yeah,
of
that's
Fame
why I
of
love Sherman.
fucking
Because
reporters.
Sherman just gives it to Bayless, and he's like, "I'm just better at life."
Yeah. He made Michael Irvin walk out on the weekend
Good.
discussing the MVP because Michael Irvin was saying Dak Prescott, and Sherman was like, it was like yesterday or today. It was like, and everyone was like, no, it is the Lamar Jackson. Prescott can't win it. He's not. They're going to be the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, his numbers are outstanding. He's going to have a great year and a Pro Bowler and that. Maybe the All Pro for the NFC. Who knows?
So this is
But-
Sherman. This is Sherman
yeah,
saying this.
but
Yeah.
he's not the MVP. Lamar Jackson just won the MVP, and Michael Irvin stormed off set.
He probably
Michael Irvin's a fucking baby
He's
anyway
a-
for
he's a
starters.
he's
And like you're not gonna beat
CeeDee Lamb's almost got more career.
You're not
receiving
going to beat
yards than him.
Sherman in a fucking debate anyway. The guy went to Stanford. Like, he's not an idiot. He's
He's a
actually
very
quite
smart
smart.
guy.
Like, you're not going to beat him in a debate for
Oh, Richard
starters.
Sherman signed helmet too.
Shout out
The 49ers one. He's well known for his stint on the 49ers.
to the 8 games or whatever he played for.
no, but back on Dak, he probably is the NFC All Pro quarterback.
Well, it's like, would it be him
The-
or Purdy?
It's not Purdy.
Like, I think if Prescott wins the next 2 games, they get the 5 seed with 12 wins, and he's going to throw 30. He's got 32 touchdowns or something. Like, he's going to end up throwing 35, 36
Yeah.
touchdowns, 34 maybe.
That's a good
Maybe he
season, man.
leads the league and he's second in passing yards.
But I think if you go on actual core stats, he wins.
Yeah.
Not these fucking yard per attempt and shit like that.
Oh,
Because
that's all anyone
if we're
wants to
going
do.
on them, okay,
The
show
dumb
me,
thing is that there's
show
an
me-
argument for everything. now.
show me
Yeah,
Brock
I know.
Purdy's
You
fucking
can, you can use any stat you,
You can
want to
bend-
prove anything.
Like all the even defenses you talk about, like the Ravens are the number 2 defense in the league or whatever. If you go by DVO, number 1 are they? If you go by DVOA, people are like, so DVOA is defensive value off average or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So they work it out off who you play and how good the defenses are and
Yeah.
how much you affect it. And I'm like, dude, you play fucking 17 teams.
Yeah.
That's who you play.
Yeah.
If you have the least amount of fucking defensive yards by the end of it, you're the number
You're
one
the number
defense in the league.
defense, yeah, correct.
If you have the most turnovers, you're the number 1 turnover
Yeah,
defense.
yeah,
If you score the most points,
You're
you're the number 1
scoring
offense.
defense.
Like, I don't fucking get it. It's like, I don't care who they fucking played. At the
Yeah.
start of the year, everyone has the same even playing field, the same cap, the same rules.
Stats are
Stiff shit.
good, but obviously, like I said, you can pick any stat to prove
Well, you
anything.
never used to be able to.
Yeah.
Now you can because of all these advanced metrics.
All this
Like,
bullshit. yeah.
I think pro football, and this is probably a topic for the offseason, I think pro football focus is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It
I
is-
used to swear by it, but now I look at it and I'm like, how the fuck is that guy the number 1
But-
center in the NFL?
Yeah.
I literally watched a 3rd string D tackle kick the fucking shit
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
him
yeah,
for 4
yeah,
quarters
yeah,
on the
right.
weekend. Like, I'm watching these guys going, this
That's what I said
guy's
to you before. The eye test, man, proved
like
a lot.
even, and I'll even use the Cowboys as an example. Trey Smith, the Cowboys left guard, very good, having a very good year, and he's in his 2nd year, and he is going to be a fucking stalwart of. He's the next Zach Martin for
Yep,
the Cowboys.
yep.
We've hit on another one. He's going to be a 15-year starter for the Cowboys at guard or tackle, wherever they want to play him. Right?
Yep.
He's like the
It's
number
all
1
perfect.
guard in the NFL on Pro Football Focus. I'm like, I've watched every Cowboys game this year.
Mm.
He's not the number 1 guard in the NFL because if Zach Martin's better than him.
Yeah,
But like
right,
Zach
yeah,
Martin's
yeah.
like the 7th guy, and
Yeah.
I'm like, Chris Lindstrom at the Falcons
was
is
just-
fucking dominating.
I
Like,
was about to say he's not even the best guard on his team.
That's what I mean.
What are you talking
like,
about?
and I think he's very good, and I
Yeah.
think he could
yeah, no, he's
potentially.
good. Obviously, he's good. He plays
Yeah.
in the NFL.
But like,
obviously,
I
he's
just
good.
watch it thinking, how is he the number 1 rated guy? Like, I
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
Jalen
yeah.
Carter give him a fucking bath
Yeah,
2
yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah, yeah.
He got a 93 rating for that game. I'm like, Jalen Carter
Dickerson-
fucked him with scissors half the
Yeah,
time.
Dickerson's a better guard than him.
No, he's not.
Oh,
Dickerson's a bigger guard. He's not better. But I do like Dickerson because he's a baller.
yeah, he's ball.
He hits hard. All right, let's get out of here.
Yes.
Enjoy.
I'm really looking forward to the next 2 weeks. It's going to be really good.
that chat's going to be fucking going off
Yep.
Monday morning. At
I
5
can't
a.m.
wait. I can't wait.
And then you know what the saddest part is?
Because I'm on holidays too. I'm going to be up early watching everything. I can't wait.
The saddest shit is that we are now 2 games away from the regular season being over.
Yeah.
And then we're only like 5 weeks away from the NFL season being over after that.
No, I love it though. That's not sad. It's a good thing.
No,
I love
because
it.
you know that feeling on a Sunday night when you got to go to work.
Oh, the
next
Sunday
day?
scaries.
Nah,
I'm now
yeah.
getting the Sunday scaries of the NFL being over. And it
Yeah,
happens
okay,
to me
yeah.
every year because it's such a fucking long off season.
Yeah, it's a short season. Yeah, I agree.
So hopefully we'll do some
But
podcasts where we can talk some
it's,
shit.
it's good that the season is short because it means that the games are important. They matter.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the baseball season
Fuck
where
160
it
games.
runs on for fucking 9 months, and you by the end of it, you're just like,
Even
oh
the
my
NBA,
god, I've had
like,
enough.
even the NBA, they play like half the players.
It's 82 games.
Yeah, the players don't even play half the games because they're like, well, fuck.
They change the rules now. They get fined if they don't.
Yeah,
Really?
that's why they did that playing tournament because people aren't
So
watching
you
the regular
can't
season
rest
anymore.
Because I actually really like the NBA, but I don't tune in until the playoffs.
Like national
Yeah, no,
coverage
I've
games. you
stopped
can't
watching.
rest.
I've stopped watching the.
as soon as the
regular
playoffs come, I'm the biggest fan of the NBA in
Yeah.
the world because that's the good teams are left.
The
I'm
good
like,
teams
let's
are
go.
left.
We can
Yeah,
watch
let's
these
go.
7-game series.
Yeah.
You know who you want to watch? Detroit Pistons, just to see how fucking
Oh,
bad they
yeah,
are.
that's
They've lost 25, well, definitely 20,
26
26
in a row.
now. 26 games in a row they've lost.
And someone tweeted when Detroit clinched the division and Detroit and the Pistons lost their 26th game in a row. Someone tweeted that we sacrificed the Pistons for this for the Lions.
The,
to clinch
the Diamondbacks have won a game more recent than the fucking Detroit Pistons
Yeah,
have won a fucking
baseball
basketball
season.
game.
they didn't even make playoffs, did they? The time though.
No, they did. They made the World Series,
Made the World Series.
Oh, okay.
but I'm pretty sure they got swept in the World Series. So they're fucking.
That's fucking wild.
That's
embarrassing.
October.
So is crime up in Detroit again, or are they only care? Who are we fucking kidding? Every sport in America is second to the NFL.
yeah.
Have you seen the fucking
Yeah.
numbers on like?
So
So
like, average viewing numbers for a fucking regular season game,
it's
it's like 1.6 billion.
10 times, 20 times more than the next sport, which is the NBA.
Anyone can say whatever they want. The NFL is the number one game in town. It's the number one show in town.
I will
Simple as
never
that.
forget Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans played Thursday night football. It was about 5 years ago when
Yeah.
they were both dog shit.
Terrible, yeah.
Late in the season, it was while the World Series was on because it was Game 7 of the World Series decider, and Jacksonville and the Houston Texans dead rubber Thursday night football game got like double the viewership.
Wow. Yeah.
Let that. If you don't think football's a king over there,
No, it's
Let
definitely
that
the
sink
king.
in.
It's definitely the king.
yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
Monday
Peace,
morning,
boys.
fucking New Year's Day as well this week for the game.
Oh, it is too.
I'm gonna have to. We might just rally through.
I'm working till like
Ooh.
4 a.m. So we'll
Straight-
definitely be just running
straight
it
through.
We should definitely maybe week 17 we should watch the games together. Though.
I'd-
you on holidays?
Yeah, I'll be on holidays.
Brock's life's a holiday. I don't know why I'm attacking you. My life's a fucking holiday.
I'm
talking
away.
about the fucking pot on the kettle black here.
All
All right, peace.
Peace,
Love.
peace, guys.